Sunday kids, welcome to the Jaden Show. Super stoked about this week's show. I have an amazing artist on my show this week. You are going to love that. If you haven't already seen her on Book Read a matter of months ago. If you remember, if you can cast your memories back to the days of Scarlet Fantastic, back to the days of Swansway, then you're going to know that MAGGIE K De Monde is amazing, and you're going to meet her in a little while. But firstly, I think let's go and listen to some Scarlet Fantastic, and this is No Memory. What a tune, what an amazing memory as well. Now I know you're desperate to meet Maggie, and you're going to have to give me a couple more minutes because we're just about to go to a Jaden Show commercial break. Okay, kids, let's do this. It's that time of the week where you're going to meet someone incredibly special. Let's go and meet today's featured and special guest, the amazing MAGGIE K de Monde. OMG, MAGGIE K de Monde. Welcome back to JCTV, but welcome to the Jaden show. How are you? Looking absolutely ravishing today.
Thank you, Jaden. Very nice of you to say.
With your pink sparkles, I love it.
Yeah, you can't beat a bit of pink sparkles. Look, I've even got some earrings.
I know, it's cool. I'm kind of, I wouldn't admit it to, thousands of people that might be watching, but almost jealous.
You want pink sparkles?
I wouldn't mind a bit of pink sparkly today, to be fair. That is gorgeous. How you doing?
I'll send the sparkles over to you.
Sparkling, thank you. Thank you, that'd be lovely. How you doing, Gail?
Yeah, I'm all right. I'm good. Yeah, I'm loving the heat wave. I'm busy as well. I've got a lot of things going on, so that's good. Yeah.
I'm looking forward to talking about them. I'm looking forward to talking. We've just seen, going back to the 1980s, Scarlet Fantastic No Memory. Hopefully everyone's got memory of those wonderful days and the great music that we had back in the day. So I want to take you back further. I want to take you back as far as you can possibly go to mini MAGGIE. And how did it all start for you? Like, how did you get into music? Were your family musical? Tell me all, missus.
Okay, so, I was always musical. I started playing recorder at my primary school. I loved recorder. And I had a piano in my room at home. And my mum was really into music. She was always dancing around. She had a very... very broad taste she listened to so much stuff.
Wow, okay.
She really had the music in her, and in her car, when we were kids, she'd be driving around with stereo blasting on, from soul music to craft work. She played everything, even some heavy stuff, Iron Butterfly, but anyway, so I was always musical, I think. I was always into drama and poetry. And my dad, bless him, he was into the Crooners. He was a big Sinatra fan.
Oh, wow, cool.
I think I know all the words to Strangers in the Night, exchanging glances, wandering in the night. Yeah, that's one of my dad's favourites, bless him. And Edith Piaf as well. And there was that Greek one that... it's that really famous Greek one.
Demis Roussos.
Oh, my mum loved Demis Roussos.
Demis Roussos and Nana Mouskouri were my...
Oh, my God. Well, we were a Demis Roussos household. Anyway, so me and my brother used to run around the table to that Greek tune that got faster and faster when we were little kids. And as it got faster, we'd run around the table faster. Anyway, so yes, musical I was.
Your dad would have loved me. in my kind of classical jazzy moments, I think he would have got on.
How cool, Jaden. Yeah, he would. So, bless his soul. Anyway, so just school. My primary school was great because they really encouraged sort of music and drama and everything, and I discovered the recorder there, and I loved playing the recorder. It was great. I still play the recorder occasionally. I've played it on a few tracks, I have actually, because I really play it well.
Wow, amazing. I just remember one song I had, like, if I go to a friend's house and they got kids, and they've got a recorder, I'm like, that's the only bit I can play on a recorder now that I learned in my junior school.
I think we learned London's Burning, Burning, pour water. That one. Anyway, so went to secondary school. I didn't like my secondary school, but I did learn to play the flute there. I was put into, choirs, and I was put in the HMS Pinafore Opera, but then I was taken out because I was a very naughty girl, and they didn't want somebody like me representing the school. Anyway, well, it's their bloody loss, isn't it?
Right. Look at what happened after all of this, but carry on.
So anyway, I didn't like school, but yeah, so I left actually. But I must say, one of my very close friends, Shirley, I met, and we're still very close friends. I met her. We were 11 when we met, and it was music that bonded us. She was a brilliant pianist, and she just played, by ear. And her dad was a pianist as well, and he'd always play in the pub. And Shirley would sometimes as well, so we'd go along and have sing-songs. But yeah, so I think me and Shirley started writing songs together when we were, I don't know, 14 or something, and or less. And we were influenced by all kinds of things. We used to like rock follies. Don't know if you remember rock follies. There's three women.
I don't remember them. I couldn't point them out in a queue, but I do remember the name.
Yeah. Very 70s. And, I can't remember all the names of the women that were in it. But so we started writing songs together. And then, when sort of punk was happening and stuff, and I was at college then, because I went to college to do my A-levels. I was a bright girl, actually, even though the teachers did not like me. I tended to do quite well in exams without really trying, especially as I didn't go to school half the time anyway. And that used to really annoy them, the fact that I passed my exams. So anyway, went to a college and I did A-levels. And I did them in a year, actually. And then I got a place at uni. Me and Shirley did as well. And in the meantime, I'd got a short-term job in France in the French Alps in a hotel, and then I went and lived in Israel for a while. Then I went to uni where I met Rick P. Jones, who he was a guitarist in a sort of punk band called the Stay at Homes, who I think had been played on John Peel actually.
Okay.
They were kind of cool. They were good, and so I had my first sort of rock band sort of experience standing on stage doing backing vocals, and I think I got a taste for it. Anyway, me and Rick hooked up as we were lovers, we were partners as well as musical partners. So we got this band together called Playthings. He moved to Birmingham, where I was living, where I was from originally. I didn't stay my whole course at uni because I realised it wasn't for me. I wanted to get a band together, and
right.
He finished his course, came to live in Birmingham, and we got this band together called Playthings. And we were very young, but I was playing keyboards and singing. He was singing, he was playing guitar. We were kind of glammy, rocky pop. And we kind of got a following in Birmingham. I used to have a little Wasp synthesizer as well way back in the day. And then, because it was a very small scene, Birmingham, it was absolutely brilliant. And all the musicians knew each other. And this is before anyone got famous. And Duran actually said that we were the best other band in Birmingham apart from themselves. And this is before they got famous. Yeah. And so we ended up doing some supports on their first tour. That was just before Planet Earth became so successful, became a hit. And we did a local TV show, and this was at the band Playthings. Anyway, me and Rick disbanded that. We wanted to do something really different, so we met this really interesting guy called Robert Shaw, and we all got on really, really well. And we thought, well, that's the premise to start a band together, is because we all get on really well. Yeah. But we didn't quite know what we were going to do or how we were going to do it. So we just pulled a load of ideas. We decided we wanted to play instruments that we'd never played before because we thought that would add to the interest. We called ourselves Swansway. And I was allocated the drums. Okay. So I had to play drums. It was like stand-up drums. And then Rick played double bass that he'd never played before either. And Rob mainly just sang. So really, we were just sort of double bass and me drumming and Rob singing. And we wrote this song, Soul Train.
Okay.
It became a hit later. It was top 20. Anyway, so we were just living in, all the musicians in Birmingham at the time, we were all living in our sort of, our housing association flats. Okay. And in the flat next door to us was a guy who had managed UB40. And we used to babysit for him and his wife. So we used to sort of ear-roll him, about how good we were and what great band we'd got and everything. Yeah. And he came and we used to rehearse in our bedroom, and he came to hear us rehearse, and he went, "You guys are great." He went, "This is great." He goes, "Can I manage you?" And we went, "Yeah." Okay. We were so young. We were really, really young and very naive. But anyway, we signed a publishing deal. I think it was with CBS at the time. they funded us to record Soul Train, and we'd written a lot of other stuff as well. We wrote it all ourselves. We recorded it, and it was produced by a guy called John Walters, who used to be in Landscape, the band. You remember? Da 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 da.
Oh yes.
Einstein a Go-Go. They were sort of a real sort of new wave electronic. I think the drummer went on to. I think he went to produce Spandau Ballet after that. Actually.
Wow. Oh my god, it's so linked, isn't it? Everything.
Yeah, it's all yeah. And that whole Birmingham scene was really, really linked, and still is actually, because when we had the book launch, which I was telling you about on another podcast, so many people were there from, all the Birmingham original bands and everything. Anyway, back to where I was. So we recorded Soul Train, and we got a record deal with Phonogram at the time, and on that label was Swing Out Sister.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Who else? Marilyn. I don't know if you remember Marilyn.
Yeah, of course I do. Yeah.
And Curiosity Killed the Cat.
Oh my gosh.
Funnily enough, I saw Nick the other day at a barbecue. He's still around. Really nice guy, actually. And then we recorded an album. We called it The Fugitive Kind. And so, that was, and we toured a lot. We took a 13-piece band on tour. Uh-huh. We had a sit-down drummer. We had a 4-piece string section, a 4-piece horn section.
Wow, mate, that's a bit different to the bedroom, isn't it?
Yeah, I played keyboards and drums and sang, and Rob sang and played a bit of acoustic guitar, and Rick played double bass. So we toured like that. And there's been quite a few films were made with it. They filmed us playing at the Astoria. A guy called Mike Mansfield, who used to do a film, I think, called Cue the Music. And I think this was called Mirror Image Series. So we did that. Oh, we played all over. We played in Paris. That was always really cool. We worked in New York. We were sent over by the record company for several weeks. We had a great time in New York. We were recorded by Mike Thorne at Electric Ladyland Studios. They're really, really iconic. In fact, I visited there last year, and it was amazing to go back, and I was chatting to the young studio manager there and telling her about the olden days, and she really wanted to hear everything. She was so interested in what I had to say about what it was like in the 80s at that studio. Anyway, so we recorded there with Mike Thorne, who had done he did the Soft Cell record, Tainted Love. Yeah. He did Pronsky.
Yeah.
Mail,
really?
Yeah, did lots of stuff. That's what he was really famous for. So he produced some of the tracks on our album, Swansway, as did John Walters. So that was all really good fun. And we were just kids, and we were just partying like crazy. You'd got the Area Club, the Limelight, and the Area was like a concept club at the time, and then there was a Pyramid Club, and it was just so brilliant, that whole scene. And you'd got people like Grace Jones hanging out, Dolph Lundgren, she was going out with him at the time. You got Andy Warhol and stuff. It was just like and we stayed at the Chelsea Hotel. Oh my god, it was brilliant. Iconic Chelsea Hotel. I think that's where I could be wrong, I don't want to get it wrong. Isn't Sid Vicious might have died there? I'm not sure, but so many people lived there. It was like a hotel where people stayed for a very long time. It's been refurbed now, and I mean, there's been so many books written on it, but back when we stayed there, it was still stinky. It was still in fact, Rob had to have his room fumigated.
Really?
Because he left a cup of orange juice by the side of the bed and woke up in the morning and it was like crawling with cockroaches. So they had to have the room fumigated. But it was so atmospheric. We just had to stay at the Chelsea Hotel. I mean, I think it was Leonard Cohen wrote a lyric sort of like giving head on the bed, at the Chelsea Hotel or something like that. It's just an amazing, so we stayed there when it was, I mean, the pillows stank and were dirty. Yeah. But, we were young, and you've got like somebody who lived next door, playing the sax. He got the sax wailing. It was just amazing.
No one's ever going to experience stuff like that ever again, are they? I mean, that was like...
No, it's all refurbed now. It's all, horribly expensive as well. I mean, it wasn't cheap back in the day, but the record company were paying. I mean, that was the nice thing. When we had these major record deals, they paid for everything, which is absolutely brilliant. Anyway, so that's that. that we had an album out, as I say, Fugitive Kind, quite a few singles. There's one song I absolutely loved called Illuminations.
Okay.
It's a chorus, Feeling Total Pleasure. It's gorgeous. And then that kind of came to an end. I think me and Rick were itching to do something completely different. So we wanted to, I mean, Swansway was kind of cool and kind of a bit jazzy, soul-y, you know, with all the orchestrations and everything. And I think me and Rick wanted to kind of do like a more 80s electronic sort of glam pop thing. So we'd been listening to Annie Lennox and Grace Jones and even Sister Sledge. We loved the grooves of God, my memory goes. It's funny. I wrote a song called No Memory. It's actually coming true now. Barney Edwards and the other guy, you know, they're brilliant rhythm section. We used to love their stuff. Anyway, so yeah, we decided to get a new band together. It was basically me and Rick. So we became a duo. Changed the image completely. We were into kind of the real, the surreal and the fantastic, and we were kind of into connection with the universe. Nature played quite a lot of, it was quite important to what we were doing. There was a lot of dream imagery, but it was poppy, you know, with the guitar riffs and everything, and very song orientated. And I sang all the vocals. Rick played guitar. He was a really good producer, actually. He produced all of the music. We wrote the songs together. And I guess because we already had some profile from Swansway, that when I started sending out new cassettes of our new songs, we did a 3-song cassette with No Memory, Plug Me In, and Rhythm of Resistance, which were 3 songs, early songs we did. I sent them to Radio 1, and they immediately gave us the session.
Wow, okay.
Evening session, yeah, it's brilliant. They loved it. And then from that, The Tube, which was a really great TV show of the day, one of the main ones, they heard it. I'd been on The Tube a few times with Swansway, but The Tube heard it. I thought it was amazing and said, could they make a video of us? So we went up to Newcastle and we made this brilliant video. I absolutely love it still to this day. It's very mystical. I'd had an idea that I wanted to be surrounded by 8 sort of tall mirrors and have like a kind of smoky atmosphere, very shadowy and sparkly and lights. And so I'm just turning around and singing. And I mean, it's great. Check it out. It's somewhere online. It's No Memory on The Tube. It's a Tube video. And the guy that made it, he'd made the Elvis Costello videos at the time. So, yeah, we were really pleased with that. And that just kicked off a lot of record company interest. But it took a little while to actually get a deal. And we tried putting together various bands to play it all live. And I don't think we have...
Just ask, did Swansway, did it end amicably? Was it kind of like it faded?
It ended amicably.
It faded and then Scarlet Fantastic kind of just started.
Yeah, I think me and Rick were impatient to get on and do something. And I think... we were in quite a hurry, and I just think we wanted to do something different. I think we wanted to reinvent ourselves, and there was never a fallout with Rob. Rob is adorable. He's still doing music. He's a very talented artist. We're still good friends. So, you know, he's doing some really great stuff. He did an album recently. Sparkle Ray is the name of his it was in a duo called Sparkle Ray. Absolutely gorgeous stuff on it. Wow. Very sort of electro, just beautiful. Anyway, and he does beautiful artwork as well. So, so yeah, we got this Scarlet Fantastic together, and then we were playing some demos, cassettes back in the day still, to a guy at where was he at that point? Can't remember what label he was at. It might have been Sony actually. We'd met him before one time at RCA. This is A&R, called Jack Stephen. And we played him our song, and he said, and he'd signed the Eurythmics, right? So, and lots of other people. He was young, he was crazy. We got on very well with him. He loved our music, and he said, can I manage you? And he said, I'm going to leave the record label and I want to manage you. So, and he was really good friends with Pete Waterman from PWL. Oh, yeah. So he took us into meet Pete. And Pete really liked No Memory in particular. And obviously we wrote all our own songs and we produced them ourselves. We weren't like a PWL act, so to speak. We weren't a Stock Aitken and Waterman act. But Pete really liked the song and he said, look, come in. He said, this is the deal I'll do. I'll give you the studio time and engineers and people to work with and mixers. You come in and do it and I'll have the publishing. That's the deal. So we went and did it. And Pete's like effing and blinding and going, this is a hit, this is massive, oh kids, you're going to be huge, you know. This is all very exciting. And so him and Jack...
If he's got the publishing, he's going to get the money for it, though.
Yeah, well, for the publishing, yeah.
Yeah.
So, anyway, so him and Jack, you know, had a few meetings and we were in a position then, I think we got offered about 3 different record deals. In the end, we signed to Arista. And we recorded a whole album at Pete's. And because we were going in and recording starting at midnight, we were working downstairs in the bunker. We started recording at midnight and we would work all night long. And then we'd be kind of still doing stuff during the day. So we were kind of on it 24 hours. So we called the album 24 Hours. And yeah, No Memory went out and it was a hit. And so, you know, again, we did tours, did Top of the Pops again, you know, travelled, did gigs abroad, Paris again and Germany and Holland. Yeah, just like, it was all good. And so, yeah, there's all of that. And then towards the end of the 80s, it was all ongoing still. We were still, you know, me and Rick were still together, but that wasn't to last so long. Okay. Even though we'd been together for a long time. We'd actually bought a flat together in London, believe it or not, and we'd lived in Birmingham before that, but we bought a flat, which we only ended up being in for a year. I had never been away from Rick for a day or a night in my life. We'd just met when we were kids and stayed together the whole time, you know, working together, living together. And I think that probably we'd sort of grown in different ways, maybe. But anyway, I went to South Africa to see my dad for a month because my dad was living in Cape Town at the time. And I met this lovely Irish young man by a swimming pool in Cape Town. You do?
In South Africa.
Yeah, and we got on ever so well. And funnily enough, Rick also met a very nice young lady. So it was weird. So it's how destiny kind of just took over. I met someone, he met someone. So it was all, I remember I came back to London just for a few days, that's all. We went for a lovely walk on Hampstead Heath, had big hugs, few tears, and parted. I flew straight over to Dublin. Wow. And I went and lived with that guy for a couple of years. And bless him, he was really sweet. But then, and so during that was a very musical period as well, because there's a lot of brilliant musicians in Ireland, and I worked with quite a few.
But what happened to Scarlet Fantastic then? Did it just stop, the whole project?
Oh, we stopped it at that point. Yeah, we stopped working together. Rick got another band together. I started working with these musicians, and then the story continues. In 1990, I met this amazing, very cool-looking dude. This cowboy walked into a Mexican bar in Dublin. Yeah. Judge Roy Beans. His name was Leaf. And he had a guitar over his shoulder. He was wearing a cowboy hat and he'd got cowboy boots on with spurs. Ooh, I quite like this. I've always been a sucker for a cowboy, me. And so anyway, we exchanged. He'd just come in from San Francisco, American. So originally from Virginia, he was a southern boy. He'd got that drawl, which is also very charming. And we'd arranged to hook up to write a song together, as you do. Anyway, so well, I remember we went out and had rather a lot of margaritas and ended up doing more than writing a song together. And then I felt so bad for my partner at the time because I was living with him in Dublin. I just thought, so we flew to London
And your
Two
partner
weeks-
didn't know anything of this at the time?
Well, I had to tell him.
Oh,
I
you
remember
told
phoning
it.
him. I
Oh,
phoned him we flew to London,
London.
and then I phoned him from a phone box, because in those days we didn't have mobiles, and I told him that I'd gone. You know, that was it, really.
you had no idea until you was in London.
No, I just left. I left all my furniture, all my plants and everything. I know, it's just crazy, the things you do. I mean, with hindsight, but having said that, it was all meant to be. You have to sort of follow your heart and follow destiny, and it just felt right. And I even said to him at the time, I don't know why I'm doing this, but I have to do it. I don't know why I'm doing it. So me and Leith, flew. After 2 weeks, we went to Turkey and got married. And so we were married for 27 years. And he was an amazing...
the definition of rock and roll, kiddo.
Bless him. No, he was actually very rock and roll. Leif was very rock and roll. And, you know, I think a lot of people thought I was mad, including my mother. I think my mother said to some friends, is she all right? Has she actually gone mad? You know, friends were like, no. I think everyone thought I was a bit strange. But, you know, I stayed with Leif 27 years. He died 8 years ago. You know, we had a kid. And I'll track back. He was a brilliant guitarist. We wrote good songs together. So once we were married, we actually moved to London for a while. Didn't like it. And moved out into the wilds of Shropshire in this little cottage. Lovely. Where we recorded an album called Pilots of the Impossible. We recorded it with Bob Lamb in Birmingham. It was only like an hour drive, so we would do that. Produced the first UB40 album. Okay. So that album was called Pilots of the Impossible. It's the first one that me and Leif did, and it was called Cahal and Cahal, because that's his second name, Kahal. And so we did that. And anyway, so I just thought, right, well, we need to get a record deal. So I thought, I'll phone Pete Waterman up. And Pete Waterman is always full of stories. Yeah. So anyway, I phoned him up, and he's like, yeah, Maggie, it's great to hear from you. I've been trying to get in touch with you, you know. Yeah, I was thinking I couldn't have been that difficult to get in touch with. But anyway, whatever. So he said, come in, because I said I'd met this guy, Leif, and, you know, we'd written songs together, we'd done an album. He says, come in, I want to hear. So we took the stuff and played it to him, and he just said, you know how good these songs are, don't you? And I went, well, yeah, we think they're good. He says, so what do you want to do? And we said, well, it'd be nice to come in and, you know, record a single. He goes, you can do that, you know, you can do that, do whatever you want, you know. It's like, come and do an album. So it's like, again, it was a similar kind of deal we had. We ended up with him for 3 years, actually.
Wow, amazing.
So we did a publishing deal first of all with him, and then the label, his PWL label, signed us. And we were there working with this fantastic guy, Barry Stone, who's a really good friend of mine. We're still really, really good friends. In fact, he's going to come and visit very soon. He became a very successful producer, you know, working with Sophie Ellis-Bextor.
Recognise his name, actually.
Barry Stone, you would. He Jules and Stone, and he had a band called Belvedere. You know, I met Baz in...
He had a band called what? It froze quickly. Called Velvet.
Belvedere Kane is Barry's band, and he's actually got an album coming out next year because he's resurrected an album that he did years ago. He's a real brilliant pop producer. Anyway, so we worked with him, and we just became firm friends. I mean, this was 92. So we were with Pete, myself and Leif, for 3 years, and there is an album out called Show Me No Mercy by Cahal and Cahal. Well, I say Cahal. Leif used to pronounce it Kale, but Cahal, that's how it's spelled. Anyway, so that's Show Me No Mercy. So that was that period. And then we left Pete. Leif had some medical issues, but we got back on our feet again. In fact, he had a liver transplant, which was quite a big thing to get through, but he got through it. And it was amazing, really. That was 96. And if you think about it, in 2000, we had a child. We had a boy. He's now 25. He's an amazing drummer, playing in 3 bands. He's really brilliant. Sean Cahal. In fact, he's playing in Northampton tomorrow night with one of his bands, the Veltmans. They're really good. So we're going to go to that gig. But anyway, so I digressed, didn't I? So yeah, Leaf. So we had this baby, which I just thought was incredible, seeing as, you know, he'd got a liver transplant, a gift from another man, and, you know, gone through so much, and were able to actually have a. So then in 2000, we collaborated with a guy called Graham Crabby from Pop Will Eat Itself, a big Birmingham indie band. They're still touring now, actually. And we did an album called, we were calling ourselves Mighty K, and the album's called Club Silencio. So that went out. You know, we played loads of gigs and everything. And what else did we do after? I think the next thing after that, and I'm actually still working with him at the moment. I'll tell you about that in a minute. I hooked up with Martin Watkins, who works with Mark Almond.
Okay.
So Martin is a brilliant pianist. So we did an album together, which Leaf recorded here in my house, because we did have a studio downstairs, but obviously since Leaf passed away, and I'm not like a real technical boffin, so it's not really a functioning studio anymore. But we had many happy weeks and months recording with Martin, him playing his lovely keyboards, and there's songs that me and Martin wrote. Leaf was helping produce that whole project.
Wow, okay.
And Leaf had produced the Mighty K album before, which me and him wrote together.
Yeah.
And then, so mine and Martin's album went out, and there's quite a few videos around, actually, under the name Maggie and Martin. There's quite a few on YouTube. My favourite, I think, is Night of 1,000 Stars. I mean, there's loads of my stuff under the name of Maggie and Martin and Swansway, Scarlet Fantastic. There's even a Playthings. So after that, I did a few other collaborations, and then I decided to use the name Scarlet Fantastic again, because I realised that I'd written a whole load of new songs, and I was sort of, even though the style of the music was different, you know, and I was older, you know, more mature, and the way that I formatted the songs musically is quite different to the sort of pop glammy dance stuff we were doing before. I recorded an album with Leaf, songs that I'd written. I think I did some with Leaf as well. And we recorded it here, and it's called Reverie, and that's an album.
Oh, okay.
With Scarlet Fantastic. And then since then, I've put out quite a few different singles, actually, some dance singles, because of course the COVID thing occurred, didn't it? And we were very much tied into having to do stuff at home, and luckily I had a record label that really liked what I was doing, a label called Hot Work. They've got people like Andy Bell, they've got Boy George, they do some more stuff. So Hot Work released several of my dance tracks. I did one called To Hell, which was produced by Hi-Fi Sean, it's from the Soup Dragons, and also Make Way for Love, which was a co-write I'd done with a Norwegian guy, actually, but that was produced by Hi-Fi Sean. And actually the one before To Hell was a co-write with an Irish guy, Jaden Casserly. So I like doing co-writes. I collaborate quite a bit with people. So then, okay, Jaden.
Maybe a future Jaden and Maggie collaboration would be good.
Who knows? Anything's possible. Cool. Oh, wow. So anyway, next was, so where did I get to? And then I did Better Day as well, which was kind of, I wrote it during that, but it was kind of to help myself with my healing, you know, after losing my husband, and my brother had died a couple of years beforehand. I think I told you that before, when we were talking about all of his work, his legacy, which is, you know, his beautiful photographs. Yeah. So anyway, which kind of brings us up to the present. So since Better Day, which is actually going to, I've recorded a whole album.
Okay.
Under the name Scarlet Fantastic. So it'll be my third Scarlet Fantastic album.
Right.
Coming out next March on a label called Last Night from Glasgow. They're a really good indie label. And the first single will be coming out in September. But the very latest thing
Tell me.
a brand new Maggie and Martin song. It's a pop, 80s vibe, Balearic dance track, and it's coming out next week.
Oh, wow, cool.
Yeah, and it's called Dream of Love, and it's coming out on Hot Work Records, and we've just made a video for it. It's quite fun. It's fun. It's a good summer record as well. And we've got a remix by Pete Hammond, who mixed No Memory. He used to work at PWL, the Hit Factory. He's a really nice Pete. So he did this remix for us. There's another maxi mix, and that is by Phil Polecat, who used to be in the band The Polecats. And it's him and Martin who produced Dream of Love. They're a production team. They're called the Cold War Cowboys. So there's always a cowboy in there somewhere. So yeah, that's my musical life. And as I say, once that single has gone out, and there's lots of remixes. We've got, I forgot to mention, I was on his album, a German guy, Kinky Roland, Roland Sebastian Faber. He did an album called Metropole Nights a couple of years ago, and he got Andy Bell on it doing a duet with George. Lots of other people.
I just lost you. You said Andy Bell doing a duet with
Boy George.
Okay, wow.
Yeah, on the Metropole Nights. It was based on a famous 80s nightclub in Berlin. Anyway, so Roland is also doing a remix of Dream of Love. We've got a few different people coming in and doing remixes, and apparently that's going to be on his next Metropole Nights album, which will be good as well. So yeah, so basically that's kind of me up to date with my music.
You never stop.
Well, I haven't really, because I don't. What else would I do?
I hear you. I want to be doing more. That's what I'm doing my shows, but that's amazing. And you've crammed all that into 37 years. I don't know how you do it.
37. Oh, I do like that, Jaden. Thank you. Oh, I'm 37.
I think it's amazing. I think what you've done, like, you're just literally on it is just so.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's been. It was a bit. What's it? The COVID thing. Honestly, that was
the isolation and everything was.
It was frustrating. Well, I was very lucky because I had a big dog, and I live next to the beach.
Oh,
so I could take the dog out all the time and go on the beach and go in the park and go cycling. I just used to do that anyway. But it was just difficult with trying to do musical stuff. Although having said that, the great thing is these days, you can work virtually with people. You can send tracks over to each other and make videos and stuff. My really dear friend Patrick Lady Pat, he made the video for Better Day.
Which we're going to see at the end, yeah.
I love that video. Which we did during COVID. Some of the scenes were shot on the beach. So that was quite good to do that, and I sent him stuff, myself filming my lip syncs and everything, and actually he produced Make Way for Love, the video, and also he did To Hell as well, which is, I like that one a lot. I don't know if you've seen it, but I've got like a clown face on that one. So To Hell, it's worth watching actually. That's a real disco dance number.
Great. I'm on it. I'm on it.
It's by Scarlet Fantastic, To Hell, and Make Way for Love is Scarlet Fantastic as well. So anyway, yeah, there's quite a lot of stuff out there.
It's amazing. Like, really, I want to be like you when I grow down. I mean, it's just.
Are we going down then?
I love it.
Are we going down?
Bloody are, mate. Absolutely. Once those fours come in, we have to start looking back to recapture all that energy that we had, and you've captured it, bottled it, and you could probably bloody sell it, mate. I mean, like, it's just so cool to hear what you're doing. I mean, I obviously met you when we were talking about your brother's book, Duran Duran on San, and what I didn't realise, I mean, we had a little chat about the things that you've done, and I obviously remember Scarlet Fantastic and Swansway, but I had no idea of the enormity of your craft and your energy. So for me, it's like, you rock, sister.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, as long as the will is there, and I managed to summon up the energy to do it as well.
Yeah.
Sometimes I wear myself out thinking about how I'm going to do certain things, but I think all the thinking, it actually tires me, but it leads me to a conclusion as to how actually to do it. So I've noticed how I kind of work. I get very busy in my head, but I'm always doing a lot of meditation to sort of calm myself down, and a lot of breathing and everything. And I swim, I cycle, I walk, because I do get over busy in my head. But I realised then that actually that over busyness, it goes somewhere. It can become, you know, in the sense that it leads me to a conclusion.
It kind of becomes its own life form, I think. And I think, you know, as well, it's like the whole sliding doors. If you didn't have that sometimes chaotic craziness, you probably come up with 7 different conclusions. One of them is the one you stick to, but the other 6 would have been probably equally as fantastic and would lead to other doors and other connections. You know, I think when you're living on your creativity, and that, for me, that's a connection to spirit. It's part of who we are. I just think it's, you know, it's, you can't help but, I mean, you've got no choice. You're creative, really.
I tell you what, you mentioned about spirit and stuff. I feel so connected, really, in nature. That is a wonderful place for me to be, whether it's by the sea, or whether it's, you know, in a forest, or whether it's in my little garden with the trees. Just, it's very grounding, isn't it? The sea for me is just amazing. I mean, and it sounds like where you are, it just sounds absolutely gorgeous.
Well, I lived by the sea, but because I'm like a water sign anyway, I lived above the sea. I lived literally next to the sea. Above, we had in the other side of Mexico cenotes, the kind of underground sinkholes and streams. So 4 meters below me is water, and I'm 5 kilometers from the ocean. And being a Piscean, it was too much. I live in the mountains now, near ancient pine and oak forests, literally out my back door in the mountains. And that, because I'm water and quite emotional based anyway.
My dad was Pisces.
Really? When's his birthday?
March the 6th.
On March 7th.
Oh my God. Yeah. Oh wow. I was also Martin Watkins, from Maggie and Martin. He's also March the 6th.
Really?
Yeah. So you guys are very close.
Yeah. It's a blessing and a curse being a Piscean, I think. I'd like to come back I think I would have done better as a Leo.
Oh really?
Yeah, but I think creatively, Pisceans, they're pretty on it.
Oh God, yeah, I absolutely agree. I'm Libra.
Nice.
I'm last day of Libra, going on Scorpio.
Wow. Okay. Great sign though. Full of energy, and balance. If you can do it right.
Yes, balance or imbalance.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll tell you what I struggle with quite often. Maybe it's just because I'm talking too much usually. But anyway, when I'm in a restaurant and I'm looking at a menu, I find it really hard to choose.
Oh, me too. Yeah.
Quite often it's because I'm talking. But yeah, sometimes a bit indecisive. But no, maybe that ties in with what I was saying earlier. Sort of a bit. But then I do get to a point where I know exactly what I want to do. So maybe that's where the balance.
Yeah, you work through all the system. You're the queen of balance, Libra, the scale. So like, you know, you can either tip it one way or t'other, but really you do. If anyone knows how to keep it, you know how to keep it.
Gosh, yeah.
So yeah, you have to go through your process.
I like that. I should write something.
That's your new album. There you go. Queen of balance. So
I've got a title for the new album.
What is it?
It's called From Montreal to Rotherham.
Nice. Two very similar places.
Not.
I don't know which one I'd rather be in, actually. Maybe a bit of Rotherham. I've not been in Rotherham for many years, so maybe a little bit.
In Rotherham? Huh? Not everybody's been in Rotherham. Not everyone's been in Rotherham. Oh my God.
Pretty sure you have working man's clubs there, right?
I was born in Rotherham.
I'm pretty sure I've done a few working man's clubs in Rotherham.
Yeah, I bet you have. Yeah, my grandparents used to have a pub there called the Golden Cup. The funny thing is that why I came to choosing that name is because my parents were living in Montreal, you know, gorgeous place, very French, and you know, and I was conceived there, and my mother flew back to England 7 months pregnant.
Wow, okay.
Had me in Rotherham. Well, the glamour. So, you know.
But look what you've achieved. Maybe none of this would have happened if you'd been born in Montreal.
Yeah, who knows? Who knows? Anyway, whatever. I have no regrets. It's fine. It is as it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean,
and like I say, whatever happened, you've done more than most people I've ever met in my life, mate. So obviously, it was a great foundation for your musical career.
thank you, Jaden. I moved to Birmingham very quickly. Actually, Birmingham was great for me, and you know, a lot of the stuff that I'm involved with now is still very connected with Birmingham.
It's really amazing. I love hearing you talk, because I sing 4 nights a week. And of course, I was pop in the 90s, then went to do classical crossover because I'm a bit of a crooner. Now I do everything. Like, I have over 1,200 songs, and I sing in every genre in 6 different languages. But I'm starting to get really into, so I'm doing like Bronski Beat, Erasure, Mark Armand. I'm really loving.
Are you doing that 80s electronic?
Yeah, I love it now. I love it. You know, Alison Moyet, Yazoo, like all that. I'm singing all these songs a couple of times a week, and I love it.
Do you know what? And funnily enough, the whole kind of that vibe, that scene, is that 80s sound is actually really popular. And that's another reason we just wanted to do like an ultimate 80s record, and it really does sound like an 80s record.
Perfect.
And the video we've done as well is a pretty 80s video. So, yeah, I'm quite pleased with that.
Super excited about that, Con. You better be sharing that all over your social media, because I want to see it. Talking of social media, where can everyone that's been watching it, my neighbour's Whippet, my mother, and her friends, they're all going to be like, we need to follow Maggie now. So where can they find you?
Maggie K de Monde. So that's Maggie, and then it's the letter K, and then DE, and then Monde, MONDE. Okay. I've got a personal page on Facebook for Scarlet Fantastic, got a page for Swansway, and I've actually got a music page for Maggie K de Monde, but I think I tend to share stuff on all of them.
Okay.
But the Scarlet Fantastic, and there is a Maggie and Martin page as well.
Okay.
That's all on Facebook, and then I've got my personal page. Then on Instagram, it's Maggie K de Monde, and I think Scarlet Fantastic, K de Monde, Scarlet Fantastic. Follow me on Instagram, and that's kind of probably the easiest way of getting everything.
I guess if people just put your name in Google as well, then loads of stuff's going to come up, right?
Yes, of course. They'll find lots of my videos. You know, they can sit all night at home and play all my videos if they want.
Stalk you internetally.
Yes,
they can do that. Absolutely wonderful, that is. I love it. Well, I'm super excited about your upcoming plans. I hope that, you know, when you have more singles and new albums and new projects, you'll come back and talk to me.
Of course, Jaden. And, you know, I'm sure me and my partner, we will, at some point, he was, as I was telling you earlier, he was in Mexico City a couple of years back. So he studied in Mexico for a while. So, you know, it's on the card. So we'll definitely, if we're in Mexico, we'll definitely. In fact, we're traveling around Texas again at some point. I don't know if it's next year or the year after, but maybe we'll take a flight and come and say hi.
That would be incredible. Maybe you can come and we'll have a sing song together. We'll do some 80s stuff.
God, that'd be good. We could even do my record, maybe.
Mate, yeah. I'm always up for collaborations. I'm in my lonely cabin, so. You want to do something for fun? That would be great.
I like doing some of the. I love some of the Eurythmic stuff as well.
Oh, yeah, I sing Sweet
really
Dreams.
Sweet dreams are made of these. Yeah. No, we can do that one for sure.
Okay, we're on it. Well, we're in touch constantly because I'm, you know,
yeah, brilliant, Jaden.
Love what you do. And then people at home, you've met her again. If you hadn't already seen her book read show, there is the link in the write-up of this episode as well. Don't forget, running along the whole of this interview are Maggie's social media platforms. And on the title page to this show as well, you can find not only her social media platforms, but also where you can stream, download, buy her music, which I suggest you do. Go and show this woman some love. Go and show this woman some support, and do it before you finish your cup of tea and cheese sandwich. I suggest that's your next, that's your homework for Sunday night before you're back in the office or at school tomorrow. So Maggie, thank you so much for being part of today's show. Adore you, think you're amazing, and can't wait for the next catch up. People at home, thank you for letting us into your sacred sanctum, wherever that may be, for spending time with us today. And I will see you again soon, my lovely.
Absolutely, thank you. The pleasure's been all mine, Jaden.
Take care, honey. Looking forward to the new song. See you later.
See you later. Bye.
Maggie, thank you so much for being an incredible guest. People at home, thank you so much for joining in and spending time with Maggie. And Maggie, I think you're amazing. So grateful that you took time out of your crazy ass schedule to come on my show. People at home, like I said before, please make sure you are following, supporting and loving her on all of her social media platforms. Go and check out all of her music on her download and streaming platforms too. Go and show that woman enough love, por favor. People, I will see you next week on the Jaden Show with another spectacular guest, because I only have the most wonderful people on my show. But before we leave, I'm going to leave you with some more music. It is called Better Day by Scarlet Fantastic. You're going to love it. Please make sure you like, love, comment, share and subscribe. Hit the tinkly bell so you're ready for the next episode of the Jaden Show as well. Check out my other shows. There's some other great shows on this channel as well. Check it all out. And I will see you next week with another special guest. Take care. Stay beautiful. Ta-ra.
In a better day. In a better day. Darkness, don't carry me away. Let me see the sun for another day. And this pain deep in my soul, don't let me fall into that hole as I look out to the sea. A little bird flies over me, unless I should forget. I know I can be free in a better day. In a better day, in a better day, in a better day. Darkness, don't carry me away. I will live to see a brighter day. Only time will reveal just how my heavy heart will heal in sweet music. Oh, I'll find some peace to soothe my anxious mind as I look up to the skies. The autumn clouds are passing by, and darkness, don't cruelly deceive. Sorrow is blinding, but I know I must believe in a better day, 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 yeah, in a better day, in a better day. And today, an angel passed me by, just like a movie. Wings of desire, and he wore no heavenly disguise. Just kindness shining from his eyes. Oh, darkness, don't carry me away. I will live to see a brighter day. Darkness, don't cruelly deceive. Sorrow is blinding, but I know I must believe in a better day, 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 yeah, in a better day, in a better day, in a better day, in a better day, yeah, in a better day. day, in a better day. In a better day, in a better day, yeah. In a better day, in a better day.